All right, so the next phase is the fat loss phase. The fat loss phase is the phase that most women look forward to and they want to jump into as fast as they can. The reason why we move this phase down to usually the third phase in the transformation cycle is because once you've completed the first two phases, you are going to get so much more benefit out of it if you have first put on a lot of muscle and if you have increased some of your muscular endurance. It makes your ability to work through these training phases a lot better, and you're able to get the results that you want. The cut or the fat loss phase requires a couple things. It requires you to go through some metabolic conditioning. Now that you've worked through the bulking phase and you've worked through the recomp phase, you've already gone through a little bit of metabolic conditioning. You've increased your metabolism so that it's raised, and your body requires more calories every single day in order to live and survive. This helps take off body fat. At this point, you should have already lost a lot of body fat naturally from going into the bulk and then the recomp phases of training. This is because most of you, before you entered our program or our challenge, you were not at a really good metabolism set point. And at this point, we've increased your metabolism set point, which is a perfect time to enter the fat loss phase. So in order to basically up the ante, the training usually consists of a lot of metabolic conditioning type of training, where we're going to increase your muscle endurance and your capacity to do exercises for a long period of time and a lot of reps. This means you won't be lifting quite as much weight as you were in the recomp phases and the bulk phases, but you're going to be lifting them for longer periods of time, and you're going to be doing them for a lot more reps or a lot more rounds. This can make it fun. We're able to add a lot of variety, and your exercises will change pretty much daily, which means you will not do the same workout 2 days in a row. Or 2 weeks in a row, right? You'll focus on the same muscle groups each day, but it will be a different workout, and that can make things a lot more fun for us. So as we get into this, we're going to be putting on a lot of muscular endurance. This is going to increase your ability to do things for a long period of time, which is so necessary for your daily life. Now, as you start working through this program, in order to get the results that we want, we've increased our metabolism, right? So the calories we need have raised. But in order to lose body fat, we need to lower the amount of calories that you're intaking. It's important that we're going to go over macros, right? But when we go over macros, we need you to understand that you need to keep your macro ratios intact, not just get under calories, right? Because calories don't fully matter if all of your calories are made up of carbs, because carbs are not a great fuel source for your muscles and not a great fuel source for working out and for your body overall. You need to make sure that you're getting a healthy amount of fats, proteins, and carbs so that your body can distribute those macronutrients throughout your body to lead for success in your training and throughout your daily life. This is pivotal to your transformation. And we want you to understand that you're going to be in a calorie deficit for 6 to 8 weeks, right? 6 weeks for the challenge. The reason we do this is because we don't want you to be in a calorie deficit for longer than 12, right? But we recommend this 6 to 8 week range because after 6 to 8 weeks, that's enough time for you to evaluate your current mental status and to evaluate your current status of weight loss and determine if you want to go a bit longer or if you are happy with some of the progress you've made, and mentally and sometimes just in your life, you need a break because you're ready to take in a little more calories. It's really taxing on the body to be training and not be taking in enough calories for your body to survive, right? And so this is something that you need to be prepared for. Make sure that you're hitting your macros, make sure that you're getting in that calorie deficit, and just push hard for the 6 weeks, and then you can evaluate when you're finished, right? All programs require a lot of protein. You need to keep your protein high because naturally, if you do not keep your protein high, you're going to lose some of the muscle mass that you gained in the bulking and the recomp phases. You need enough water intake and you need enough protein intake to maintain your muscle and to keep that strength, so that as you lose the body fat, there's something underneath the body fat. You are able to get that toned look that you've always been looking for. The benefits that we are going to talk about for the fat loss phase, obviously this tends to be kind of that trimming cycle, right? You're starting to see defined muscle come out of your body. You're starting to see maybe a body you once had before you started having kids, right? And that's extremely rewarding. Naturally, you're going to actually start seeing this in the bulking phase and the recomp phase if you've never been in these phases of training before. So really, there's a lot of benefit in every single phase of training. And now that you've worked through those first two phases, your benefits are going to be vastly increased because you increased your metabolism and your muscle mass through the bulking program and the recomp program. Now, there's nothing wrong with jumping into the fat loss program at the very beginning as the first phase of training. 100% okay. You can still see great results in 6 weeks. In fact, especially if you've been training before and you've been doing strength training programs in the past, you can 100% see great results. You can see some fat loss and you can see transformation. But they will not be as good as if you have first gone through a bulking and then a recomp phase before. Beware of the length of time that you are in a fat loss phase. I've already touched on this. If you're in a fat loss phase for a very long time, you're actually going to hit this, what we call a plateau. Whereas if you're in a calorie deficit for too long, I already touched on this in the video before, your body wants to find a set point. And eventually, your body will find a way to burn less calories and decrease its metabolism because it sees that you are chronically putting your body into a calorie deficit for so long. This is what a lot of women see naturally, because we find that many women who are very self-conscious about what they eat and how much they eat actually are eating way under calories chronically for a very long time, and this decreases their metabolism. If you feel like you fit into that category, you should benefit a lot more from being in a recomp or in a bulking phase, because if you are chronically under calories, you need to increase your metabolism before you try and go into a fat loss phase. Just because you're in a calorie deficit for a very long time does not mean that you will burn body fat. It means that your body's going to find a set point and it's going to find a way of what we call homeostasis, right? Or a way to maintain what you have without overstressing the body too much. Overall, the fat loss is a great phase. It's very rewarding. If you decide to enter the fat loss phase, we're excited for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. The next phase is maintenance, and this is to teach you how to maintain the gains you have already gotten.